QuaranTUNE Virtual Dulcimer Fest. This video is a tutorial to show you how to register for workshops, purchase concert tickets, and navigate the checkout process. There have been some changes to the website, so even if you've done this before, you might want to check out this video. First thing you're going to do is up at the top right corner of the page, there's a button that says register. There's also a button that says register in the middle of the home page, and in the navigation there's a button that will say register. If you're on a mobile device, you'll want to click the two little black lines or three black lines at the top of the screen. That's going to expand the navigation, and that will allow you access to this register button or all the other stuff in our navigation panel. So I'm going to go ahead and hit register in the top right corner. It's going to take me to this registration prep page. You're going to want to go through and read all of this information before continuing. Once you're ready to start registering, you can hit any of these buttons down here, and if registration is open, they will work. You don't need to refresh this page. You just click on these buttons, and once registration is open, it's going to take you to either hammered dulcimer, mountain dulcimer, or all the other instruments. For the mountain dulcimer workshops and the hammered dulcimer workshops, they're going to operate exactly the same way. I'll go ahead and click mountain dulcimer. Now that I'm here, I'm going to see all of the mountain dulcimer workshops only. I will not see hammered dulcimer or any other instruments, just mountain dulcimer. It's a lot still. So at the top of the page, I have all these categories that will allow me to see only workshops of a certain level. So I'm going to go ahead and select the level that I'm interested in. So let's look at level 3. Now I only see level 3 workshops. They're still organized chronologically from Friday 1 through Saturday 7. So I'm going to start adding some of these items to my cart. Go ahead and click add to cart. Once I'm in the item and I've read my workshop description, I decide I want to take that workshop, I can click add to cart. This is new. A dark box will pop up on your screen, and it's going to ask you either go to view your checkout or view your cart or checkout. I'm going to do neither of those. I'm just going to close that window. If the workshop looks like it's close to selling out, you may want to check out so that you don't miss out on it. But in general, we recommend that you try and get all of your workshops on the same order. It's going to be easier for you to know what you've registered for when you only have one order confirmation and one email to look at. So it helps you be more organized, and it also saves us compounded registration or transaction fees from the credit card companies. So unless a workshop looks like it's about to sell out right now, you don't need to check out immediately, okay? So again, we're going to click add to cart. Oh, look at that. A little thing pops up on my screen, says unable to add the item. If it says that, that means one thing. The item is already in my cart. Okay, so all this stuff is sort of doesn't mean anything. We can't change the text there. The item's already in my cart. I trust that it's in my cart. You can't add more than one item to of the same, I can't put two of these workshops in my cart. If I wanted to order two of them because perhaps I have a spouse or a friend who wants to take the same workshop, you're going to have to go back through and place a second order. That's just how you have to do it. All right, so I'm going to hit the back button on my browser and go back and select some other workshops. If I want to take workshops on other instruments, I can go back to that registration page and then go to hammered dulcimer, for example. And you'll see that this is organized the same way. I can choose my level. So maybe I go to level 4 and then grab some level 4 workshops. Okay. If I wanted to take a workshop on a different instrument, over here, of all the other instruments, these are not organized by level, they're organized by instrument. So these categories are going to be all organized by instrument. We don't have all of these instruments at every single festival, but you can select whatever instrument you're interested in and see what's available. Go ahead and we'll add one of those to the cart. Last thing I'm going to want to do is add a concert ticket to my cart. So go to concert tickets. That's in the navigation. And it's also all over the place. I can either scroll down or I can just select this concert ticket over here and add that to my cart. Now, again, I can go to checkout here. I can view my cart from here. I can also check out. It says checkout here. There's little buttons all over the place that say checkout, but also up here at the top of the screen, your shopping cart. That's going to get you your shopping cart as well. From this page, I can review what's in my cart. Now, you can purchase two workshops that are happening at the same time so that you get the video on one and you can attend the other one live. You can certainly do that, but if you were trying to attend all of your workshops live, you might want to correct some of the issues. All of our workshops are color coded, so the red means that it's session 1. And since these both say Friday, I know that those are happening at the same time. So if I was planning to attend them all live, I might want to remove one of those workshops, okay? If I didn't do that on this page and I just went to the checkout, I could still remove them on this next page. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove all of the workshops for now. The next thing, once you're in the checkout process, there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. This is different looking. You have to have read the important disclosures. Those were linked everywhere. I'll talk about those in a minute when I talk about recording. When asked for your email address, please make sure that the email address you use is correct. If you use PayPal, Google, Apple Pay, or Link or one of these other things, your class emails and order confirmation will go to the email address associated with that payment method. That's not 100% true for PayPal, but it is true if you're on a mobile device and you're using Apple Pay, it's going to go to your Apple ID email address. So make sure that's where you want it to go if you use Apple Pay. Same thing with Google Pay or this GPay. It's going to go to your Gmail address. If you use this link thing, it's going to go to the email address that you have associated with that payment method. Okay, so we're just going to say, yes, I'm going to make sure that my email address is correct. I'm not going to, no typos for me today, right? All right, did you check your cart for mistakes? Yep, we did. You shouldn't have too many mistakes, honestly, because you can't put more than one in your cart. But say you decided to add a bunch of stuff to your cart that you didn't actually want, you want to take that stuff out before you check out. If you don't check out, if you don't do that, then you just lose your money. So now, I could use GPay. If you're on a mobile device, you could use Apple Pay. I could use this link thing. I've tried it out. It does work. I'm actually going to click More Payment Options. That's going to take me to a page that looks a lot more familiar. So from this page, I'm going to enter my email address. Now, if it's asking for a password and you don't know your password, click Continue as Guest. That's all you need to do. And that makes that go away, okay? If you want to use an account and you don't know your password, you're going to have to figure out how to reset your password and do all that. It's pretty self-explanatory on our website, but we aren't going to help you with that. If you don't know your password and you email us about it, we're going to delete your account and all of its account history. So it's your job to figure out how to retrieve your password if you want to use one. But if you don't, and it's just you're frustrated by it, click Continue as a Guest. It's right there underneath and it'll look like this. So I'm going to hit Continue. I know that email address was correct. I've written under all these boxes. I already checked them, but here they are again. So I make sure my email address is good. Hit Continue. Now from this place, if I had logged into an account, I could use a saved payment method, but I didn't, and that's okay. You could still use this Google Pay. You could still use Klarna, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and use PayPal. And this is interesting. So from PayPal, I'm going to enter you still have to enter all your stuff. Continue with PayPal. What this is going to do is going to walk me through the PayPal process. I always say, like, if you can't get your credit card to work and you can just try using PayPal. That's going to be the fastest way to figure out what's going on. Is just use a different payment method. Use a different card or use PayPal. So I'm going to review this order. And this is tricky because I could think right now that I paid and that I'm done, but I'm not done. You have to click Purchase down here at the bottom, and then it's going to take me to an order confirmation page. So from this page, I have my order confirmation number up here. You may want to take a screenshot of this page or write down that confirmation number, whatever you want to do. A couple things. So my payment method, I can't hit the back button, but you might have noticed that the email address associated with my PayPal is different from the email address that I entered. That was a Yahoo email address. So I actually just got a notification on my watch from PayPal saying that I made this purchase, and that went to my Yahoo email address. Okay. But with PayPal, the email address that I entered at the top, which was my Gmail, all of your stuff should still go there. So PayPal is different. It will go to whatever email address you enter when you check out. But Apple Pay and GPay are both going to go to whatever email address was associated with that payment method, even if you don't use that email address. So be careful of that. If you don't use your Apple ID email address for anything, maybe don't use Apple Pay, because that's where everything's going to go. Another thing to keep in mind on this page, I purchased a concert ticket. I can download it right now. I do not have to wait for an email. You don't have to email us asking for it, whatever. You will get one. You should get one. However, you can download your concert ticket immediately. So I'm going to download that concert ticket, and it showed up in my downloads folder. Now I have it. It's not lost. So there you go. That's how you place your order on the QuaranTUNE website for your workshops. It's going to be the same way. I just removed the workshops from my cart. You're going to want to check your email. I'm checking my email from my phone right as I speak, and I have an order confirmation from virtualdulcimerfest.com, and it came to this email address over here. So last but not least, if you are actually, this is a new policy, so even if you're familiar with QuaranTUNE, we have changed our policy for workshop recordings, and we're hoping that this is a lot easier for everybody to understand, and that way you all know what to expect with your workshops. On a whole bunch of pages, there are links to the important disclosures. You have to read those before you even check out. You have to acknowledge that you understood all this stuff on this page. It's not a ton, and it's written in plain English. Under the recording thing, it talks about our new recording policy, which is very simple. All of the workshops are recorded unless otherwise stated. If they say this workshop is not recorded, then it's not recorded. But if they don't say this, this workshop's not recorded, then it is recorded. And I'll give you a little explanation of some of this. For example, I'm on the descriptions document here. This one doesn't say it's not recorded. That means it's recorded. This one says the class will be recorded. That also means it's recorded. This one doesn't say anything. It's recorded. This one says the class is recorded in full. It's also recorded. Some full class video provided. That means it's recorded. A lot of instructors have chosen to use their characters in their workshop descriptions to say that their workshop is recorded. But even if they didn't do that, the workshop is recorded. The only ones that are not recorded, I'm going to scroll until I find one. There's very few. The only ones that are not recorded will explicitly say so. And that this one here, it says explicitly this workshop is not recorded. That doesn't mean anything about the workshop. It's a great workshop. It's just a live workshop. So it's going to tell you if it's not recorded. And then anything else you can expect a recording of. Small caveat, obviously technology does what technology does to us sometimes, and there may be a situation where the power goes out or the internet goes out or something happens to the computer and it fails to render the workshop video. If that happens, then the instructor will record a new video that is the same duration as the class, and you will receive that video. The instructor may even invite you to another workshop where they record it live, just so that it's not awkward for them to record. So if for some reason the workshop doesn't get rendered, if that video doesn't get rendered, you will still be provided with a 1-hour workshop in lieu of the recording that failed to render. So that's the new policy on recording. One last little thing that I want to talk about, if you're interested in this, I find it kind of helpful. We do have a little search thing. So if you don't want to go through and individually look for your workshops, say you did some planning in advance and you know exactly which workshops you want, on the descriptions document, the final column over here on the right-hand side has SKUs. So if I wanted to, if I had already selected all the workshops that I want in advance, I can go here, and this search bar is in a number of places. It's also on these pages here. The search bar, if I type in a SKU and just wait, that workshop shows up. Now I am on a desktop, so I don't know how it works on a mobile device, but that's how it works on a desktop. If I hit enter, it's going to take me to another page where, again, I can just go to that workshop. Another thing that I can do is I can type in a particular instructor's name. So since I'm just looking at Elaine's name, I can type in the word Conger. And here's what will happen. This actually brings up more than Elaine. It's going to bring up any word Conger. So it's going to bring up bios and those types of things. If I go back over here, so let's try another one. If I type in the word Ashbrook, that's going to pull up just Karen. It'll pull up any place that she's listed as a sponsor, and all of her workshops. So you can use your instructor's name. If you type in a name like Allie, actually, I hit enter. So if I type in the name Allie, what'll happen is I'm going to get a whole bunch of stuff for Allie, and that's just because her name was used as part of a category thing. So for some of these, if you get something like that, then I would want to type in the entire name, and that will bring me just to Karen Alley's workshops in her bio. So that's how that works. You can also use this feature not just for SKUs and instructor names. You could even use it for certain terms that you're interested in learning about. So I type in chromatic and I get all the chromatic workshops, and I can look at them and read the instructions or the title to see, oh, this one's a mountain dulcimer workshop, this one's a hammered dulcimer workshop. So you can select workshops that way if there's a certain topic that you're interested in. The one that I found was a little bit difficult to search was 1.5, because different people have different ways of typing 1.5. So some people will say 1.5, 1.5, 1 plus. There's all these different ways that people will type it, and depending on what they do, you might not get any kind of results, or you might get 1 or 2. So just keep that in mind, that some of them don't work as well as others, but certain search terms will give you a whole lot of information about workshops that you might be interested in as well. I think that's about all I want to cover in this video. Have fun registering, and we hope to see you in the concerts.